So welcome back, lecture 5. So fourth lecture we were discussing pressure variation in accelerated fluids. We have solved some problems and we'll continue with the same topic with few more problems. So let us take, I think we have taken 3 problems. Now we'll take some more problems. So let us take fourth problem. So fourth problem, we have an inclined plane which is making an angle theta with the horizontal, and we have a container accelerating, a container filled with some fluid accelerating along this plane. So let us take some fluid. So density is rho. Fine. So now what you have to find out? We have to find out the angle made by the free surface of this fluid with the horizontal. So let us write the question. Find angle made So this angle is theta, so let us take some other angle here. So it should be parallel to horizontal. So this is a parallel line, parallel to horizontal. And let us assume this angle to be alpha. Fine. So this is angle alpha with the free surface of the lip. Now, how to solve this problem? So first of all, we have discussed all the accelerations along horizontal direction, the angle made by the free surface, and also along vertical direction, the container accelerating along vertical direction. So we'll apply all those concepts here. So now first of all, this container is under the effect of gravity. So the acceleration of this container must be along the plane. So this should be the acceleration of the container. And let us say that acceleration is a, and that is also equal to g sine theta. The acceleration is g sine theta, right? Okay, so then this is horizontal direction. So let us say acceleration along horizontal direction is ax, and acceleration along vertical direction. So this is vertical direction, and that is ay. Fine. So now if this is an angle theta, this will be angle theta. So this is angle theta. How much is ax? So component of this acceleration, ax is a cos theta. A cos theta. And that is also equal to g sin theta multiplied by cos theta. So this is the value of ax. Then ay vertical component of g sin theta, that is a sin theta, and that is also equal to g sin theta into sin theta. So that will be g sin square theta. Fine. So now what is the idea here? The idea is, we have seen that suppose if this container is accelerating with acceleration a along horizontal direction, then free surface of the liquid, free surface of the fluid. So now here, for no confusion, we will take again angle alpha. So alpha, and acceleration due to gravity was vertically downwards. Then here we found out tan alpha as A by G. Fine. Yes. So then here tan alpha. So here tan alpha should be equal to acceleration along horizontal direction, that is A cos theta, that is nothing but G sin theta cos theta. So G sin theta cos theta divided by acceleration along vertical direction. So we are assuming that this container is accelerating along x as well as accelerating along y. So now when it is accelerating along y direction, then the effective acceleration will be, so as we have seen, in this case acceleration was only along horizontal direction. Now in this case we have acceleration along horizontal as well as along vertical other than g. So now see here, if this is the fluid and if this fluid is accelerating with acceleration A in the downward direction, then effective acceleration which we have considered here, so G effective was G minus A. If this acceleration was upward direction, it was G plus A. Now this is G minus A. Fine? Yes. So here this acceleration along y direction will be G minus AY, or here I will write AX by G minus AY. Along this direction we have acceleration AY and acceleration due to gravity is G. So effective acceleration along this direction will become G minus AY. Okay, yes. So just solve this. So tan alpha is equal to AX. AX is G sin theta cos theta divided by G minus AY. AY is G sin square theta. So this is G sin theta cos theta, and this will be G into 1 minus sin square theta. I should mention this. Fine. So this will be cos square theta. So this is G sin theta cos theta divided by G cos square theta. So that is equal to cos theta will cancel, then we have tan theta. G will cancel, sin theta by cos theta is tan theta. So what we got? We got tan alpha. Okay, so from here we got tan alpha is equal to tan theta. Tan alpha is tan theta. So what do you mean by this relation? So this relation says that the free surface of the liquid or the free surface of this fluid is parallel to the plane. So this free surface is parallel to the plane. So that's why this alpha is equal to theta. So I can write here free surface of the fluid is parallel to free surface of the fluid is parallel to the plane, inclined plane. Okay, yes. So we can also solve this from this frame of reference. So we'll find out G effective or effective acceleration, and we know that the effective acceleration should be perpendicular to the free surface of the fluid, or free surface of the fluid is always perpendicular to the effective acceleration. Here, suppose if you take this, then the effective acceleration, if this is in this frame, we will consider this acceleration. So the resultant acceleration will be along this direction. So that is perpendicular to this free surface. perpendicular to the free surface. So now let us find out what is the direction of effective acceleration in this case. So if it is perpendicular to the free surface, if it is perpendicular to the plane, then it will be perpendicular to the free surface also. So just I will remove this. Oh, so let us remove. So I will take plane, inclined plane. This is horizontal, this is angle theta. Fine. Now acceleration we have along this direction. So that is g sine theta is the acceleration along this direction. But when you are in this frame, we will take a corrective force because this is non-inertial frame. So that will be pseudo force will be along this direction, that will add to the acceleration. So then instead of taking this acceleration, we will consider acceleration along this direction. So that is g sine theta. And another acceleration is acceleration due to gravity. So that is g. And let us find out what is the net acceleration. So here the net g effective was, or effective acceleration was, root of a square plus g square. So similarly here, if this is theta, then this angle is theta. Resultant of these two acceleration will be somewhere along this direction. So this is resultant acceleration along this direction. So g effective will be equal to root of, that is g and g sine theta. So resultant of these two. So the angle will be, see, this angle is 90 degrees and this is theta. So 90 plus theta. This angle will be 90 plus theta. So then root of g square plus g sine theta whole square p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. So plus 2g sine theta 2pq cos theta. So angle between these two acceleration is 90 plus theta. So I will write cos 90 plus theta. Okay. So if you simplify, so we have g here. So here 1 plus, here we have sine square theta, here it is g square. So plus 2 into sine theta, cos 90 minus theta is minus sine theta. Fine. So let us solve this here. That is g into root of, here sine square theta, here minus 2 sine square theta, sine square theta minus 2 sine square theta, sine square theta minus 2 sine square theta. So 1 minus sine square theta. So what is 1 minus sine square theta? Cos theta. So g cos theta. So this is g effective. Now this effective acceleration is equal to g cos theta. So now where is g cos theta? So g cos theta is here. If you take g cos theta, here we had g sin theta and perpendicular component here. So that was g cos theta. This is only the effective acceleration in this case from this frame. So this effective acceleration is perpendicular to the plane, the inclined plane. Then this acceleration must be perpendicular to the free surface of the liquid also. So this is perpendicular here, this is also perpendicular here. Just we have proved means this is making an angle, this free surface is parallel to this inclined plane. Then this is g cos theta, this must make an angle theta with the horizontal. Yes. So this was our problem. So now let us take one more problem. So let us have some problems on rotating fluid. So let us say we have, this is fifth problem. Let us take a tube filled with water. This is a closed tube filled with water. Fine. So let us show water. Now, this is vertical direction, or this tube is rotated about this axis with an angular velocity omega. So let us take value. So omega. So omega is 2 radian per second. And this end of the tube is at a distance of 2 centimeter. This end of the tube is at a distance of 4 centimeter. Okay. So instead of rotating this tube at the center, we are rotating this tube at some axis which is just offset to the central axis. Fine. So 2 centimeter, 4 centimeter. Total length of the tube is 6 centimeter. Now, for a rotating fluid in a tube, we have seen the pressure difference. So suppose this is P1 and here it is P2. It is rotated about this axis. Is a fluid. Then P2 minus P1. We had rho omega square R square by 2. So this is R. Just remember, so you have to remember certain formulas, so that will your speed of solving a problem will increase. So now what you have to find out here. So here we have point A, here there is point B, here there is point C. So we have to find PC minus PA. Find the pressure difference between point C and point A. So now very simple, see here, the formula which we have from the axis of the rotation here. So we'll apply for point B and C, and we'll apply, or we'll find out the difference between A and B. So let us find out this difference. So this pressure difference, how much? So this pressure difference will be PC, because this pressure is more. Centripetal force is acting along this direction. So from this direction we must have more force. So PC minus PB, that is the axis. That is equal to rho omega square into distance. So that is 4 10 raised to minus 2 whole square by 2. Then similarly, we'll find out PA minus PB. Pressure A is more than B. So PA minus PB. So that will be equal to rho omega square 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 raised to 2 by 2. Fine. So we want PC minus PA. So this is equation 1, let us say. This is equation 2. If you want PC minus PA, just subtract 1 from 2. So if you subtract 1 from 2, PB will be cancelled, that is PC minus PB minus PA minus PB. So you will be left with minus of minus plus. So PC minus PA should be equal. These are common. So rho omega square by 2 is common, 4. So here we have 16 into 10 raised to minus 4 minus, here we have 4 into 10 raised to minus 4. So calculate. So 16 minus 4 is 8. So here density 10 raised to 3 omega 2 radian per second. So this will be 4 by 2. 16 minus 4 is 8. Sorry, 16 minus 2 is 12. So 12 into 10 raised to minus 4. Okay. Yes. So here we will get 24. 24 10 raised to minus 1. 24 into 10 raised to minus 1. So that is equal to 2.4 Newton per meter square is the pressure difference between this point and this point. Okay? Yes. So now let us take one more problem. A problem which was asked in IIT JEE Advanced. Okay, you pause and you can see. Just I'll remove this. So H rho L, fine. So we have a U2 This is a U2 whose length is L. Okay, so then this is rotated about this axis. Let us say this length is L. Fine, so there is no problem. So considering this thickness to be less, then we have density of the fluid. It is rotated with angular velocity omega. Then there is a difference in height and the density of the fluid is rho. Fine. So this is a U2 which is rotated with angular velocity omega about this axis. Then this is a fluid. Here we have difference in levels of the fluid. So fluid level difference. The same concept. Now, you have to find out the height difference. So here, this is the height difference and that is given as h. You have a U2 fluid field of density rho and it is rotated about one of its limb with an angular velocity omega. Then definitely there will be a difference in height of the fluid in two limbs. So we have to find out the difference in height. So now this axis, so from the axis the pressure will go on increasing. When you go from this side to this side, pressure will go on increasing and that pressure difference. So let us call this point as A, let us call this point as B. Then PA minus PB, or sorry, PB minus PA, because PB is greater, is given by the formula which we have used here, rho omega square L square by 2. Rho omega square R square by 2. So R is L. Fine. Or this is the distance between these 2 points. And here the pressure difference. If you find out the pressure difference between these 2 points, so suppose if you say this height is small h and this height is small h. Same heights. You have to find out this difference. So pressure at A. So pressure is applied by this height of the fluid. So pressure at A is atmospheric pressure plus rho GH. Pressure at B is atmospheric pressure plus rho G, capital H plus small h. At this point, height of the fluid, this h and capital H. So now PB minus PA, that is P naught plus rho G, H plus H minus P naught plus rho G H, that should be equal to rho omega square L square by 2. P naught will cancel, rho G small h minus rho G small h will cancel. So remaining is rho G H. So rho G H is rho omega square L square by 2. So H. So difference in height of the fluid in both the limbs. So that will be equal to rho omega square L square by 2 rho G. Okay, so rho will cancel. So H is equal to omega square L square by 2G. And you know this equation. The difference in heights in a rotating fluid. Yes, all the concepts are related. If you take this point and this point, if you go a distance of r, you have y. So y is equal to, from this point, so y is equal to omega square r square by 2g. Okay, so simple. Now let us have one more problem. R1, R2. So that is also simple. Okay, so let us have it. This was the problem asked in IIT JEE. So the problem is we have to find out h. Okay. So height difference, fine. So again offset so we have a container. Now instead of rotating at one of its limb or center, we are rotating at some other distance. We have fluid here. Okay, so this is the fluid. Now the distance. So this distance is given as from this axis R1. This distance is given as R2. Now this is rotated with angular velocity omega. Then what will happen? So this height will rise. This height will also rise because about the axis of rotation there will be a pressure variation as you go here. So pressure will go on increasing. So then the difference in heights we have to find out. So we have A, B, fine. So now the heights will change here. So this may be the height here and this may be the height. Okay, yes. So this is A, this point is B, and we'll have a parabola. So this will be parabolic. So the variation will be like this. So if you take this level and from here this height is y, we have to find out this height h. So find this height h. Density of the fluid is rho, which is not required here, but still you can assume density of fluid to be rho. Fine, so it is rotated. So you will have some height here, you will have some height here. So there will be a difference in height from A to B. We have to find out that height h. So again, difference in pressure from this point to this point. If you go, you can write the pressure difference here, you can write the pressure difference here. So if this is 0.1, this is 0.2 and this is 0.3. So how you can write the difference in pressure? So difference in pressure is delta P. Sorry, we want height. Sorry. So height will be y will be equal to omega square r square by 2g. Omega square r square by 2g. So from this point, we are finding out the height. So this side and this side is in both the. So let us call this height as some h naught. This height as h naught. So now this height difference from this point you can find out. So this side, from here if you go this side, so that will be h plus h naught. I am taking this point as the origin. From here this height. So this is at a distance of r2, rotating with angular velocity omega. So h plus h naught will be omega square r2 square by 2g. And here from this point if you go this side, you will get the height. That height is h naught. So h naught is omega square r1 square by 2g. So difference in height. So h plus h naught minus h naught. So h plus h naught minus h naught. So that is h, and that will be equal to omega square by 2g r2 square minus r1 square. Fine. So that will be the difference in heights. Okay. So fine. So you solve more problems by yourself and make sure that you are able to solve most of the problems. Okay. Thank you. So we'll come up with another video of lecture 6.